Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ron. As an early adopter of the DJI's FPV technology, I've been flying the original DJI Avada drone since its first launch back in 2022. So it's a little over 2 years now. And with this drone, I've had a chance to explore cinematic and high energy FPV shots in a ton of different environments. So over the years, I've shot a ton of footage at various beaches in New Jersey, Florida, the Big Island of Hawaii, and other locations as well. Recently, though, I decided it's time for an upgrade. It's looking like the DJI Avada 2 is going to be my next big drone purchase. In this video, I want to walk you through my thoughts and decisions, the process basically of what ultimately led me to decide my next drone purchase would be the DJI Avada 2 versus a more traditional drone, something like a 5-inch like this Nazgul Evoque. I also want to talk to you about what I consider to be the best or the most important features that led me to the choice for the DJI Avada 2 as well. So about 6 months ago, I shared my original thoughts on why I was not considering buying the Avada 2, and I'll put that video up here somewhere in the corner. That video was called 5 Reasons I'm Not Buying the DJI Avada 2. And in short, I already owned the original DJI Avada drone, and it was still fitting my needs at the time. Additionally, the Avada 2 specs didn't seem significant enough for me to justify the cost. But as many drone enthusiasts know, equipment can only withstand so much wear and tear, and my original Avada took an unfortunate dive into the Atlantic Ocean on my last trip to the Hamptons. Well, I had to start thinking about my next purchase. So since I was looking for a new FPV drone, it was only natural to consider the Avada 2. Again, my original Avada is no longer working, and the Avada 2 had quite a few significant upgrades that I had to consider. So the Avada 2 has a 1/1.3-inch CMOS sensor versus the original Avada drone, which has a 1/1.7-inch CMOS sensor. So the Avada 2's got a larger sensor. This gives the Avada 2 improved low-light performance, such as dusk to dawn videos. The Avada 2 will have less image noise or more detail in the dark scenes, making it ideal for anyone wanting more flexibility in various lighting conditions. Secondly, you're going to have better dynamic range with the larger sensor of the Avada 2. The Avada 2 should be able to handle more detail in both the shadows and the highlights, which is particularly useful in outdoor environments where lighting is often very uneven. As you're flying your drone between trees and brush, it just constantly varies. And number 3, the improved sensor size should mean I can now leave my GoPro action camera off the drone, cutting down on the extra gear and reducing the overall takeoff weight of the Avada 2. Now, I'm sure there will be times where I'll still want to use the GoPro mounted to the Avada 2, but it feels like I'll be able to fly without the additional weight of the GoPro cameras in many of my use case scenarios. Now, the flight characteristics are always better when you don't have the added weight of something like a GoPro mounted to your drone. So with that being said, I think my number one reason for wanting to upgrade to the Avada 2 is the newer DJI O4 video transmission system. The original Avada had the DJI O3 video transmission system built into it, and the O4 system just gives me even more confidence in my ability to stay connected to the Avada 2 while the drone's in flight. Confidence in my RC link and video link are probably my number one priority when flying FPV. I have drones like the Nazgul Evoque that use Crossfire as well, but my preference is flying with the DJI O4 transmission system if I'm given the choice. Additionally, the O4 system has strong anti-interference performance that boasts a 13-kilometer maximum video transmission distance. Now, let's be honest, you're never actually going to reach 13 kilometers due to battery limitations and actual line of sight issues, but it's an impressive system nonetheless. So I also like the flexibility of being able to fly with an actual remote controller, something like this, the DJI FPV Remote Controller 3, or you can fly with something like a DJI RC Motion 3, which is a ton of fun to fly with if you've never tried one. The DJI RC Motion 3 works great in many scenarios. Additionally, I already own the DJI Goggles 2, which are right here, so I don't have to buy the hardware if I don't want to, though I'll probably buy the DJI Goggles 3 just to have the best experience flying the Avada 2. As of this video upload, the Avada 2 is compatible with the following types of goggles. You have the Goggles 3, DJI Goggles 3, DJI Goggles 2, which I have here, the DJI goggles Integra and the newer DJI goggles N3, which there's a whole issue with that, with being able to purchase it on the DJI website. We won't get into that. And as far as remote controllers go, you have the DJI RC Motion 2, which is compatible with the Avada 2, the RC Motion 3, the DJI FPV Remote Controller 2, and the DJI FPV Remote Controller 3. So a lot of options. One of the other significant reasons I'm sold on the Avada 2 is the lower noise levels of the Avada 2 over the original Avada. The original Avada is a screamer. This thing's loud. Trust me, it can be a bit annoying when you don't want to be noticed and you want to go out flying. Now, the 5 blades and the smaller props of the original Avada just leads to much higher pitch and noise over the newer Avada 2. So I'm really looking forward to lower noise level of the Avada 2. Now, when I fly, I like to be as invisible as possible. I like to get my drone up in the air, get my flight or flights in, and if no one ever takes notice, well, that's just fine with me. I don't like to be disturbed or interrupted when I'm flying. And again, if no one notices me, I'm just fine with that as well. Get my shot, get in, get out. And as I mentioned earlier, I was initially hesitant to buy the Avada 2, but my needs for a reliable, high-quality FPV drone for capturing, again, cinematic footage ultimately led me back to DJI's latest Avada 2 model. I should also mention the Avada 2 now has 10-bit D-Log M color mode for better color grading as well. The original Avada, I was never really impressed with the video quality. The video image itself was the D-Cinelike color mode. Just wasn't a big fan of it. With better camera quality, enhanced stability, and no need for the GoPro, the Avada 2 strikes a balance that makes it a solid choice for someone like myself. May not be for you, but I'm just giving you my input. I have other traditional FPV drones, as I mentioned, like the iFlight Nazgul Evoke, the 5-inch drone, but when it comes to a daily driver, I think the Avada 2 is going to meet my needs. And let me just say that I'm not sponsored by DJI or any FPV brand, at least not to date. I've simply wanted to share with you my thought process on where I'm at as of late 2024. So just like you, I'm spending my hard-earned money on my drones. When I crash them, I'm not happy about it, but I also know it comes with the territory. And when it's been a few years flying a specific drone, I'm okay with knowing it's time to upgrade and move on to the next big thing. Now, this video isn't to convince you what you should be buying as your next FPV drone or a Cinewhoop style drone. I'm just letting you know what my plans are on the next purchase and why I chose or made the decision on the Avada 2. Now, that's it for this video. If you got any value out of it, feel free to leave a like or just say hello in the comments below. That's it. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.